Okay, friends, we are back with another big weekend of college football. Today is Friday, September the 6th, 2024, and we have quite a number of showcase games. We've got some games that are going to shape the G5 landscape with Kansas State and Tulane and Boise State and Oregon, but we also have a huge blue blood matchup in Ann Arbor where Texas will be coming in to face the defending national champions, and we will see if Michigan can definitely keep their string going. They got on the right track last week, winning against Fresno State, but Texas is a little different matter. So as far as that game goes, it's always good to see blue bloods playing against each other in the non-conference season, and the games usually do live up to billing. Last year we had a couple of really good ones: Texas, Alabama, and Ohio State, Notre Dame. Those games were both barn burners. And in years past, we've had Ohio State and Texas, Alabama, USC. We even got Nebraska, Oklahoma a few years back, if you recall. Blue Bloods playing in the non-conference, what it does is it brings more visibility and more eyes to TV sets, which is why the realignment model has tracked so closely in that regard. The ADs and presidents are not stupid. They know that big names bring big eyes to the TV. So Texas and Oklahoma, of course, have moved to the SEC, while USC, which is also one of the 8 blue bloods, is in the Big Ten with Nebraska, Michigan, and Ohio State. The only outlier still is Notre Dame, which will join a conference someday, but for now, it's content with its independent status. So these games early in the season, certainly they may not tell you a ton about the teams just because they are so early and the teams are not fully formed, but they definitely give a window into some high-level competition. Michigan has a chance to make a statement that it is not going to go away just because it lost a ton of talented players. Now, if the Wolverines can find a way to get past Texas, it will definitely be not just word, but deed, because this will look like a very big pelt that it has skinned. Now, I do wonder about the Wolverines' ability to run the football. UM's running backs averaged just over 4 yards per carry last weekend against Fresno State. And if they can't find running lanes against Texas, it's going to be a long day. Texas's front is not quite what it was with Byron Murphy and Tavondre Sweat now going on to the NFL, but they still have some guys who can plug the run there. So Michigan's definitely going to need to be able to run the football. Texas showed good balance in running and passing in the opener. It's no doubt going to look to hit a few shots downfield. It'll be interesting to see who Michigan puts or who Will Johnson gets to cover. It will probably be Isaiah Bond, but Texas may roll some receivers to his side of the field and maybe try to take a couple of shots. Fresno was able to get a couple of chunk plays against the Wolverines. So if UM is not controlling the clock and keeping Quinn Ewers and crew off the field, then it is going to be a long day, and folks in blue will be going home in just that color. Switching now down to the south, there is a big change. I don't want to say changing of the guard, more changing of the quarterback in Florida, as Billy Napier makes a change to DJ Lagway. Now, this is an injury replacement. Graham Mertz got hurt last week in the opener against Michigan, and Lagway, of course, was a highly, highly touted high school prospect. He dazzled in a couple of the All-American games, and a lot of fans have wanted to see what they have in the Phenom. So he is getting the start this week. It should be a little easier game against FCS Samford, but people wonder, could this be permanent? If DJ Lagway balls out, is this something that going forward, because Billy Napier came in fighting for his job and the offense looks so lackluster against Miami, is this something that could be permanent if DJ Lagway gives a little bit of a boost to the offense? That's an interesting thing to ponder. Billy Napier, I don't think, has a lot of wiggle room. He definitely has to get his best players on the field. And the way things are going in Gainesville, we cannot chalk up this game as an automatic, although you would think so. Lagway should be able to make some plays. And if he can jumpstart the offense for this game and the next few, because we don't know exactly how long Mertz is out, Napier's definitely going to have a hard decision to make. You know it's going to be difficult. Mertz really hasn't done anything wrong, and he's actually played above expectation for a lot of people. But Lagway, I'm telling you, this kid is a different cat, different set of skills. Napier may feel that the future is now and go with him the rest of the way. He really isn't in much of a position to play conservative. So unless Lagway looks completely lost or has a bad game this week, don't be surprised if he's the man the rest of the way. He does have a massive upside. Whether that's enough to save Napier's job remains to be seen, but he definitely appears to be the best option. So that is going to be something in an otherwise kind of lackluster game against an FCS. Watching DJ Lagway is going to be something that people need to pay attention to. Maybe the biggest of the G5 games this week is Boise State heading to Eugene to take on the Oregon Ducks. Oregon struggled a little bit last week. They did put up 500 yards of offense, but they only scored 24 points. And there were some mistakes, costly penalties. Ducks look like anything but championship outfit. Now, most will say it's a first game, but what if it wasn't? What if the burden of expectation is already proving to be an anchor? Oregon has been one of the chic picks to win the national championship. If people aren't going with Georgia, aren't going with Ohio State, then the Ducks seem to be the next choice down. Now, we're going to learn a ton about them as they take on a Boise team that's going to want to keep intact its perfect record against the Ducks. Yes, teams have met 3 times. Boise State has won every single one of them. Boise features one of the most electric runners in the game in Ashton Jeanty. All he did in Boise's opener last week was rush for over 250 yards and score 6 touchdowns. That's right, half a dozen touchdowns. I don't care who the opposition is. That's pretty damn impressive. Now, Boise's going to lean on Jeanty early and often and will want to keep the ball away from Dylan Gabriel and company. And if it can shorten the game, make the Ducks really work on defense, then this might be a lot closer than the home folks want it to be. Dan Lanning certainly has the look of a superstar coach, but let's not forget that in the biggest moments last season, Ducks could not get it done. They lost twice to a Washington team that did not have as good a roster and that it was favored against on both occasions. Now, it says here that Oregon wins, but if there's a struggle, maybe we'll need to rethink the ceiling on just how high the Ducks can fly. I don't know. That one's definitely, that's a late game. That's a 10 o'clock kickoff. It's only on Peacock. So you're definitely going to have to maybe seek that one out if you want to see how it turns out. And last but not least, we head down to back down to Florida in Tallahassee. Now, did you see the note about Florida State's marching band that released a statement explaining why it no longer plays the Warchant on third down? I guess that the band agreed to a request from the football team to have different music played on third down. Music spun by a DJ, making it seem like a club atmosphere. Here's a newsflash. Fans don't like that. Fans like tradition. They're the ones forking over $100 for a ticket to have what they feel is a great game day experience. Now, if you take away that tradition and the experience fades, it becomes the same antiseptic atmosphere you'll find at an NFL game, and then they'll stop coming. No athletic department wants that. Look, I get that input from the players is useful, but on this matter, the school should have been unbending and told them, look, guys, we've done well through the years with Warchant being played. Fans are loud and into it. It helps fire them up so they can fire you up. This is one where you have to question what the leadership is doing. And the second question is, why are they even listening to the music? Shouldn't they kind of be dialed into what their coaches are telling them and what the situation is and all that? I mean, the players, I know that there's a lot of dancing that goes on in college football now, but third down is not really the time to be dancing. It's a time to be buckling your chin strap, getting ready to stop the opposition. And if the Warchant can get the fans into it on third down, and if the fans can make a lot of noise, throw the offense off, then that is a good thing. So let's not erode this tradition. It's another example of having in charge people who don't care about football and who do not care about tradition. And that is something that we definitely do not want to see. Anyway, that is going to do it for right now. We've got, again, a great weekend of games. I will be back tomorrow morning with my Saturday 6-pack, the 6 games that I feel best about as far as selections. Go a little bit into some angles, into some things to look for. That's going to go up at 8 o'clock. So look for that tomorrow morning. And if you like this video and some of the other stuff that I've done, please hit the subscribe button and like, and also the notification so that you know when new content is going up. We will see you soon.